Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Tats, and it's that time of year where I rank all the games that I beat in 2022 on stream. But before we go any further, I gotta be a bit of a YouTuber, as they say. Please the algorithm gods. If you like what you see around here, comment down below, throw a like to the video, and subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos. I post a wide variety of content. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get into this. I did one of these last year, kind of just shoot from the hip. Ranking these games, briefly talking about them. Just a few disclaimers. There is like a game or two that I was given a key for that does not sway how I rank the game. I'm pretty open and upfront with how I rank these games. So outside of that, most of these games were purchased with my money. 99% were beaten on stream. There are going to be a few on here that were not beaten on stream, but just I really think people should check out. And then in addition, when I throw up the game, you also will see a brief clip if you are curious about it or if you've never heard of the game, since the tiles for the pictures are a little messed up because I'm terrible at making this stuff. But anyways, let's just get right into it. A game that I beat recently, and it's a sequel to a pretty beloved game out there. The community is really tight, is Bendy and the Dark Revival. Now this game was pretty good. I think it's gonna be a must play. Like I said, if you're a fan of the first Bendy, you're gonna want to play this, so that is a must play. The second one was a horror game. It's gonna be in chapters. I don't know when the rests are gonna come out, but it's called Blink. It was a very unique concept. As you play throughout the game, your eyes actually blink and things change, and so overall it was pretty good. No word on when chapter 2 is gonna come out, but you know, maybe soon. Next one is a pretty short game. Graphically, it's absolutely amazing. I think it's like $20. I think it's worth it. It's called Bright Infinite Memory. It was, like I said, it was pretty good. There's some gunplay, some sword play. The graphics were over the top. Story was meh, but it was just a really, really fun time. I do recommend it. That's why it's going on pretty good. Then we have one game that I have played for the first time. I am not very good at Souls games. I've only ever beaten Sekiro and Elden Ring until I played this game. That's right, I've never beat Dark Souls 1, 2, or 3. It is Bloodborne. It is Bloodborne, and I did everything in it. I did the DLC. Yes, I beat Kos, Ludwig, all of them. I'm upset that I slept on this game for so long. I've always wanted to play it. I finally just buckled down and I did it. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. That gets a 10 out of 10. Next game, this is one of the games that was provided to me. It's called Burn Me Alive. I know it's a pretty small dev team. However, just overall, the mechanics, the graphics, the story, very low quality. Don't really recommend it. It's gonna go in the avoid category. I wanted this to be good. I love checking out new games. You know, maybe in the future they'll, you know, take the criticism and they'll make a better game. Coming up next was one of my most anticipated games to come, but I just didn't know when it was going to come, and I was very surprised that it got released in December of 2022, and that is the infamous Choo Choo Charles, the game where a spider demonic train chases you, and you have to try to kill it. It's a short game. I think I'd be in like 3.5 hours on stream, 100% in achievements, everything, but this game was just perfect. For a solo dev, they did amazing. And I want to see more games like this. This is a must play. It is worth the money. Go out, get it. It is coming to consoles later on. Next, we have another personal favorite. Devolver Digital has not been missing with any of their games. I was able to 100% this game as well. All the achievements, I did everything. It had Twitch interaction, which was really great too, and that is Cult of the Lamb. This is a roguelike. It's really fun. I believe it's on all the consoles. There's just no reason. If you're a fan of Digital Devolver and what they've been pumping out the past few years, this is a must. This is a must. Next up, we have another horror game in Cursed House. A very short game. Very basic. It's good for what it is, but overall, if this isn't, if it's not on sale or it's not provided to you, I would just skip it. I would avoid it. Like I said, it is what it is. Wasn't terrible, but some good scares. But overall, avoid it. The next one is probably one of the weirdest games that I got a key for. Yes, this one was provided to me. It is called Lust from Beyond M. And the reason it's called, there's Lust from Beyond and Lust from Beyond M. The M version is the one that was more censored, like heavily censored, so I could stream it on Twitch. So if you want the uncensored version, go get Lust from Beyond, and there are some crazy sex scenes, tentacle porn. It's wild. Overall, pretty good story, really interesting characters, very story driven, some Lovecraft themes in there, really good, but I would wait for a sale. I think it's a good game overall, but like I said, just maybe wait for the sale. The next one, yet another horror game. I played a lot of horror games this year. This is from the Dark Pictures Anthology, and this is called The Devil in Me. Played it on release with Maven. It was extremely buggy. We had a lot of glitches, a lot of game-breaking bugs, but you know what? That still did not take away from how good it was. I highly recommend this series. They announced Season 2, with the next one in Season 2, the first episode in Season 2 being in space. Super pumped for that. Devil in Me, I think, was the best one out of the anthology series, with Amanda Medane being at the bottom. So this is definitely a must-play. Again, another horror game. This one's called The Devil Inside Us. You basically play as a priest who has to do an exorcism. But it turns out it's not what you think it is. Honestly, really riveting story, really good jump scares, very graphic. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm going to give this a must play. I remember this one specifically being very fun to play on stream and Twitch chat, enjoying it. So I would definitely go for it as a must play. We have another one coming up that was another favorite of mine. It finally got its full release this year. Very Lovecraft inspired, fast-paced FPS, Doom-like shooter. I really enjoyed it. It's called Forgive Me, Father. God, just what a great game. There's 2 playable characters. There's a skill tree. Everything about this game just really clicked for me, and I highly recommend it. Coming up next are 2 in the same, so I'm kind of going to throw them up here at the same time. They're called Fears to Fathom, episode 1 and 2. Basically, these are just tales telling different stories. The first one, you're home alone and someone breaks into your house or someone's watching you. I really, that one was pretty good. The reason they aren't going way for a sale is because they are so cheap. I think they're like less than $5. So episode 1 and 2 will both go in the pretty good. The second one was a little bit better. You're kind of out driving around. You get stuck at this motel. Some really crazy stuff happens. Really enjoyed it. Overall, I think they're pretty good. They're pretty good for what they are. Short, sweet, pixelated stories. Just that stuff you see on TikTok where it's like, this game's about, so I recommend it. Next up is very heavily Resident Evil inspired. A little Silent Hill. It's called Phobia, and like it was good, but man, was it frustrating. Story's pretty good. Gameplay mechanics terrible. Enemies extremely hard. I was playing on one of the easiest difficulties, and just you got like a Mr. X type enemy that follows you around, and the story jumps all over the place near the end, but still pretty solid. I don't know. I vibed with it. I got very frustrated with this game while I streamed it. So I'm gonna say wait for a sale if you want this one. Just like wait for a sale. It will be so much better. The next one I am not streaming, but I am currently playing is God of War Ragnarok. I mean, there's not much to say. It's God of War. Like, come on, like it's super good. There hasn't been a bad God of War game. I may have had my issues with the 2018 one, but it's God of War Ragnarok. And same thing, Horizon Zero Dawn. I played a little bit on stream, but I'm not gonna beat it on stream. I'm a huge fan of this. I think this is one of my favorite original IPs since BioShock. They got DLC coming out in April 2023. So if you got a PS5 and you want like a game that's gonna consume a lot of hours, Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West. Next up is a game that had probably one of the best stories I think I played this year. It's very in-depth. They all intertwine. Gameplay mechanics are good. It is just a heavy hitter, and I think a lot of people slept on this game. It's called In Sound Mind. You can find it on almost everything: Epic, Steam, Xbox, I think even Switch. But this game just hits so freaking well. I will admit the story is very dark. Some ideations that are not comfortable for everybody, but I think it's like $30. Even at $30, this game is worth it. Definitely check out In Sound Mind, one of the best games I played this year. Next one is Infernax. It's heckens back to the old school, very hard arcade games. There's 2 different modes. You can play classic, or where you die, you lose everything. You can make good choices, you can make bad choices. There's a lot of side quests. very in deep story. I like the combat. I like the graphics. I like the abilities. I think this is a misplay. I think a lot of people slept on this too. I know it is on Game Pass, so if you have Xbox Game Pass, why not? I would just go for it. Next is going to be Insomnius. I don't know if I'm saying this right. This is another one that was provided to me. Basically, you go back to this house. The house is a dark secret. You were once a kid there. Overall, some of the puzzles were pretty annoying. So I would recommend wait for a sale. Like I said, this was provided to me. Overall, it was good, but not worth a full price game. So I would definitely skip on this one. I really don't have too much to say about it because it was a very quick game. Next is one that was pretty talked about a lot. Had a lot of hype around it. Kind of got compared to what was that one game? Visage. It got compared to Visage a lot. Really enjoyed it. Probably one of the better horror games I played this year is called Madison. I think it is a must play. Very, very good story. Very dark. A lot of good jump scares. If you are photosensitive to like flashes and everything, you're probably going to have to avoid it because you use the camera quite often. It is a vital gameplay mechanic. Next up, I really don't stream too many sport games. But, when I was scrolling through my recommended on Steam, I came across this. It is a golf roguelike deck building game. Highly slept on, I think. I think it should have been nominated for Best Sports Game this year, but it did not get the nod. It is called Curse to Golf. Seriously, it had a free DLC update, a lot of replayability. This game was just absolutely amazing. Like, if you like deck building and roguelikes and golf, this is a game for you. I was a little hesitant at first. I'm like, am I really going to like this? But no, this game absolutely knocked it out of the park. So, highly recommend Curse to Golf. Up next is probably the most controversial game on this list. There was so much buzz around this game when it came out. Sony was censoring it. A lot of people were talking about it. And so right away, I was like, I have to know what the deal about this game is. And that is Martha is Dead. As I still believe Sony did end up censoring it. I bought it on PC so I could see what was the censored part. And I gotta admit, this game was something else. Like I'm putting it under pretty good because of the graphic content, and a lot of people probably can't handle it. But there is so much heavy material on here. It deals with mental issues. There's some war in there. It's around World War II. But just, my guys, and just the visual images. This game was absolutely wild. Obviously, I'm not gonna put the clips of the visual images on here because I'd probably get banned on YouTube. But you know what? I think it's worth the price if you're a horror fan. There's not too many jump scares, but just like psychological horror. This fits the bill. Next up is Mirror Forge, one that came out recently that I beat on stream. It was pretty good. More Cthulhu-like stuff. I don't know how, but I always want to play Cthulhu-like stuff. I think there's a message out there for that. Mirror Forge, you go around multiple realities. Actually, no, the theme is more Mesopotamia gods and Egyptian gods, so I take that back. It's not Cthulhu, but there you can see some Cthulhu inspires some stuff. Overall, pretty good. It's got one of my least favorite gameplay mechanics where you just freeze enemies and run by them. Not a big fan of those, so I think it was like $30. I'd wait for a sale. Overall, pretty good. I liked it. Yeah, it was pretty good. I recommend it if it's on sale. Next up is my second favorite horror game this year, or I guess you could say my favorite. I was really waiting for this one. This one probably has the absolute best jump scares. Each playthrough is completely different. It was made by a solo developer. He did an absolutely amazing job. He's constantly updating the game and adding holiday content, and that is the Mortuary Assistant. Just absolutely god tier game. Absolutely loved it. It's a game that you got to play. Hopefully it makes its way to consoles, but just, gosh, I love this game. Ended up 100%ing it, all achievements, everything. Another one coming up is a game that I played on stream, but I never finished it. I actually just beat it last night prior to recording this video. It's called Neon White, and this is kind of in line with Curse to Golf. This is a speedrunning FPS card builder, if that even makes sense. This game is absolutely wild. The story is solid. And it has one of my favorite voice actors as the main character, White, being Steve Blum. Just really good, and honestly, Violet and Red are best waifus. So that is on all the consoles as well. So I would definitely recommend picking that game up. And then next up, we have a classic of mine that I played. I remember playing back on the 360 era. It recently had the remaster. I played the first one last year, and I believe I ranked it on that one. But that is Ninja Gaiden 2, and that's gonna just go in pretty good. The remaster did not translate well with control schemes and graphics. But just overall, it's still a lot of fun to play. I found it much easier to beat now as an adult than I did a kid. So yeah, it's part of the bundle. If you get one, you get Ninja Gaiden 1, 2, and 3. So you might as well. I think it's like $30. It's not a bad deal. Next up is the game that I started off with the year. Never beat the first one, but found the second one to be very enjoyable. I really loved the combat. The story was great. Kasha, if you don't know who Kasha is from the game, you know she's a great waifu. And that is Nioh 2. Nioh 2 absolutely knocked it out of the park. I liked the first one, just never was able to beat it. But some 80 hours in the second one, absolutely loved it. Absolutely amazing. So definitely check out that one. Next up, we have one game that is very unique, but also really annoying. It's a puzzle game. Each time you die, things change. Your endings can change. You know, it was fun, but it was frustrating. The combat's not that good. It can be pretty confusing. Yeah, I mean, it's called Oxidized Room 104. I'd wait for a sale. Overall, not that scary. Pretty generic monsters, combat. I would just wait for a sale. I really don't have too much to say about it, but I beat it. Wasn't the greatest, so there it is. Next up is Shovel Knight. I beat this one fairly quickly. Standard platforming, classic arcade game, kind of like Infernax. Nothing really stood out too much to this game for me. I think it's pretty good. I know there's a lot more content that I didn't touch on. Like you could play as all the other, like Plague Knight and all that. I didn't really touch on that. But overall, it was pretty good. Glad I played it. Next one is called Superland 6 Inches Under. It's kind of like a Minecraft, just like kid adventure game. Really simple, really basic. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna put this one in. Why did I buy this? Because like there's like a whole series to this, and I just picked a game in the middle because I thought it looked good. It's very basic, and there's nothing against that. It's just I'm questioning, and I just realized that my why did I buy this category is not on here, so I'm just gonna move it up to avoid. So, yeah, just avoid it. It's not even really worth it. Next one up is one that I recently beat this year, and I did beat it on stream. It was gifted to me a long time ago, and I've been grinding it out. It's called Undermine, and I think this is a must play. It's a roguelike adventure. There's, you know, each playthrough is going to be different. There's a lot of items, like there's references to Dark Souls, Kingdom Hearts, just so much good stuff packed into Undermine. I'm sad that the game's not getting more updates, but it's a must play. I highly recommend this. I think it's $30 or $20, still get it. Absolutely amazing. Next up is called The Uninvited Guest. Yeah, no, this one was really rough. Come on, Kursagoff, why you gotta do that? There we go. Ah, that's what happens when you record these videos. We're only on the last two, so it's all good. So Uninvited Guest, very bland story, plot twist ending that makes no sense. Terrible puzzles. It's very hard to see the game because it's so dark. Definitely avoid it. And last but not least, you know, it's the game of the year. It's Elden Ring. I got 144 hours into it, and starting 2023, I'll be getting the last 3 achievements, which I need a generic Elden Lord ending and the Flame Friends ending, and then I unlock the final achievement and become Elden Lord. There's nothing to say about this game. Everybody knows about Elden Ring. It's amazing for what it is. One game of the year. Highly recommend it. Go get it. Absolutely amazing. Hopefully we get DLC story content because the PvP stuff is not my cup of tea. So yeah, those are all the games that I beat on stream this year and ranking them. It's been a great year. Unfortunately, at the end of the year, I did get banned for 7 days on Twitch. Still trying to figure that out as recording this. But, you know, for anyone that watched my content in 2023, whether it be on YouTube or Twitch, I truly appreciate you. Thank you so much. I really look forward to 2023. Going to be doing a lot more horror, a lot more challenge runs. So if you want to keep up to date on my goofy shorts, the content I post on YouTube, or follow me on Twitch, comment down below, throw a like to the video, hit the subscribe button, turn those bells for notifications, and I'll see you next year. Thanks for watching.